As you leave the visitor center and walk down the sidewalk, there's a swimming pool over here that is not in operation. And then to the left of the visitor center, or right when you're facing it, is the actual home place. And that is the direction we're going. The visitor center currently has a little gift shop and bathrooms. The museum is currently closed, I guess, for renovations. But as you look across the field, that's where we're going. That would what a frontier settlement would look like. We'll be there momentarily. Okay, as we move closer, looks like they've got living history occurring. So it may not have to be me quizzing Tommy too. I could be quiet. Well, that's not likely to happen. But
well, new things happen every day. So.
This is where we're going. This is where Davy Crockett was born and raised. And it was really not too far from another mountain man that you should look up called Rocky Mountain Joe Meek. He's from Washington County, Virginia. He helped open up the Rockies and actually has a full episode on mountain men on the History Channel. All right, Tommy 2, what is this?
Oven.
What type of oven?
Bread.
Right, it's a bread oven, but what do they use for fuel source?
Wood.
Wood, so it's a wood-fired oven. So would they build the fire out here or back there?
Back into it.
They'd build the fire back there, and then all the brick would what?
Heat up.
Heat up, and then that would allow you to cook. So that would be better than a Dutch oven, correct?
Yes.
Why is that outside of the main structure? Why don't they have it over here in the fire in their cabin?
Because of heat.
Because of heat. What else can it cause of it?
Fire.
Fire. So your biggest threat when you're dealing with wood structures is
A fire.
a fire occurring. Now this is what a typical frontier farm would look like in this section of the country in the 17th, 18th centuries. Probably into the early 19th centuries. What is this? Can you guess?
No.
That is a water well. See the bucket over here? See how they've got it set up? They got the crane to dip down and get it and get it out. Pay attention. Now, tell me, Tommy 2, where's the glass in their windows?
There aren't any.
Why isn't there glass?
Money.
Money! Where are they located?
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere, or is it what's called the frontier?
The frontier.
So they're in the frontier. And being in the frontier, do they have access to it? No. And windows and glass at that time period were made how?
Through fire, like
Right. Did they make plate glass like we do now? Or did they make cylinders, cut it, and roll it out?
cylinders had to roll out.
So you can tell if it's actually authentic if it has what in it?
Waves.
Waves.
How you doing there, gentlemen?
Well, and yourself?
Doing well.
Did the Indians come and raid the crops?
What's that?
Did the Indians come and raid the crops?
Well, they came in here, they raided the whole settlement here.
No, they killed his grandparents.
This is what an inside of a cabin like this would look like. Now, it's got a dirt floor. It's logged. What's in between the logs?
Some kind of mud.
Mud and other debris to do what?
Block up the holes.
Block up the holes to seal it from what?
Weather and keep heat in.
Weather and keep heat in. So what are they keeping as a heat source?
Wood fire.
A wood fire. Do we really need a fire today? No. Had this been wintertime, is that fire on the inside or the outside?
Inside.
Inside, but it's like it's
And outside.
outside. And how do they have see how they've got the the rock on the back side of the mud brick, right? So that's an attempt to create the heat to do what?
Come out.
To reflect back. That's an earlier invention. That actually comes later. That's why the fireplaces now are more convenient. Now, what would you do through a hole like this?
Fire. Shoot.
Shoot what?
Gun.
No, shoot at whom?
Attackers.
Attackers. And the attackers generally were who?
Indians.
Indians. And when they raided this area, which they were just as aggressive as the whites, regardless of what you hear from political correct people, when they raided this area, did they play by traditional rules of warfare? No. So they applied their rules of warfare. So that means you can take what? Starts with an S. Ends with an S. Slaves. So most American Indian tribes were slave societies, correct? Yes. They also did what with a lot of the children? Took them and did not. Did they leave them without a family, or did they adopt them into families? They would adopt them into families.
Sure.
Now this is a what?
Chicken coop.
That's a chicken coop.
Not a chicken coop, but
A pig pen.
yeah.
This is a pig pen, but there's no pigs in it. They used to have animals down here.
Well, you look up the building, you would think maybe chicken coop.
Pig pen. See what's that structure for? You would throw something at it.
It's gonna be a
Tomahawk.
yeah.
They call them tomahawks because that's what the American Indians would call them. But in reality, they're Franciscas, or throwing axes made of metal. Coming from what at that point was Francia, which is where you get the term France from. So France is the part of its name is from Francisca, or throwing axe. This is your chicken coop. And your
Yeah, this looks more like it.
not only is it more like a chicken coop, what's stored in there?
Not wheat. It's
Corn. Why isn't it on the ground? Directly on the ground.
You get to it if it's on the ground.
Right, what type of animals?
Coyotes.
Coyotes eat corn?
No, but
What came across to the New World with the settlers? That's a
Horses.
vermin.
a vermin. Oh gosh.
Rats. Rats would get in there and eat your corn. You raise it up, and it keeps it from mildewing, right? And it helps keep the rats and the mice and the chipmunks out of it.
Well, then wouldn't you think it would just, climb if it could?
Well, they could. You're not going to be 100% pervious. You get rats in modern day homes. Now, what they use to plow this field?
Are we talking?
They go down and buy a Craftsman tiller and just kick it open?
No.
No. What did they use?
Well, they would have to use a plow and then animals.
A plow and an animal. What type of animal would they use?
Well, it could be any working farm animal or
Working farm animal. What type of farm animal are we referring to?
Could be cow.
They're not a cow, but you're close.
A horse could definitely be.
Horse can do it. Horses did it. That's why you have draft horses.
And then how many?
Yeah.
There's
Mules. Yep. How about ox?
yeah.
So ox would do it. So notice that they have little fences up on their garden. Do they need fences like we need them for aesthetic purposes now? No. So what would be the purpose of having these fences up? Although the fences would be higher.
Keep animals out. Just
Yeah, but would keep animals out. It wouldn't keep deer out because deer would go over it. What other animals would they keep out of their crops?
foxes.
Foxes?
Well-
Foxes eat meat.
Okay, well, you get what you can get.
You get what
think
you
about
farm animals. You have your chickens running all over the place. Your small animals like your goats and your sheep are running all over the place. Sometimes your cattle. And back in the day, remember Hatfield and McCoy's? It supposedly started over what?
I have no
A
idea.
pig. Why would it start over a pig? Did they go? Did they run in and grab it out of their pigsty? Or was the pig running wild?
It was like, wow.
Was running wild up in the hollers, and they did what to them so they can identify who owns the pig?
Mark them?
Mark them, yes. So they're marking these pigs and allowing them to run wild, right? So they're foraging out, getting the acorns just like they would if they were running in the real world, right? In the wild, like wild animals, wild boars. So if you're letting your pigs and your sheep and your goats run wild, do you want to leave your garden without a fence around it? No. So what type of animal do we have over there?
Donkey. Well,
Oh,
it's not exactly donkey, but
that's a donkey.
okay.
With those being donkeys, do you have to worry about coyotes? And as we move down towards the river, you can see there's local flora and fauna. Flora being plants, fauna being animals. They have a maintained grassy field with park benches and picnic tables for use. And you can see over here, people are fishing. You have shaded areas with trees, open areas, and you come down here. And how do you say this river's name again? Nolichucky?
It's yeah.
And on the other side of the state park is farms. And you're at the convergence of two streams, actually. You have the river coming this direction, and then a smaller stream to the left up here connecting. And if you know fishing, that's an excellent place to fish. It is handicap accessible. As you can see, there's a paved pathway for people. All right. As we're near the Nolichucky River, setting in the truck, what's the temperature like outside compared to when we went to Greenville?
It feels worse, but it's reading 84.
It's 84 here and 87 there. Near the proximity of the water has caused humidity to be tremendous. It's to the point, what happened to the GoPro with the 45 minutes of filming? It overheated, so it shut down. So now we're inside the cabin trying to cool off, and we're going to do an after action report. What would you rate this state park?
Going out of 10?
We're going out of 10. That'll work.
8.
I'd give it an 8. I think it's nice. It's got a swimming pool that's not currently open, but you also have the river you can swim in, you can fish. It's got decent camping. It's got a visitor center, an excellent little free village. We have a bunch of attractions here. It's quiet. There's wildlife all over the place. I would suggest visiting this when you come down to Eastern Tennessee.